Hello and welcome to Youth Code Jam's online Bits and Bytes lessons. Today we are continuing our unit in Tinker. So that's another coding environment, block coding. It is a little bit more interactive than Scratch or some of our other ones, so there's a little bit more capability that students can use if they've been coding for a while. If they haven't, it's still a pretty easy to use program and they should give it a try, especially this activity. It's not too challenging. Today we're going to be adding the effect of floating through space. One note before we get started, when we get to our characters and we get all the way through the program, you might see that your character behaves a little different than my character that I use on here. That's okay. The characters all have a little bit of different code added to them that we can't necessarily change, so their behaviors for certain things that we do with them are going to be different. Alright, so unlike a lot of our other videos, we have a much longer link for you to type in, so you might need to pause this video and pull up another browser so that you can type in this link. It's very important that you do start here though. So make sure you type this all in one line into your browser. Don't add an enter or a space between dashboard and this backslash. This should all be a single line, no spaces. So, and that's going to exit. That's going to bring you to this home page here. And you're going to scroll down to the bottom, which isn't a very far scroll, and click Workshop. And then select Blank Block Coding Project. And what you're going to see is that it's not necessarily blank, and that's okay. We're going to clear all of this. So the first thing I want you guys to do is we're going to add our background. Okay, we have a typo in the instructions. I need to go back and fix this. So we will add our stage first. So to add our stage, double click the word stage and click add background. And we're going to choose an alien landscape because we are adding the effect of floating through space into our program. So we're going to choose a space landscape. Once you've selected the alien landscape, go ahead and click that X in the corner and it will bring us here. Next, click on the actor sprite to make it the active one. And we're going to delete this actor by clicking those 3 vertical dots on the side and selecting delete. Click yes. Now click the add actor button. Go to Media Library. Go to Media Library and we're going to select any character you want. So I'm going to select this dragon here. You guys can select it as well, or you can do something else. The code will not matter because we're going to build all of our code from scratch. So any code that comes in with your actor, click and drag it off to the side. It will delete. The last thing we're going to do for our setup is add the physics block to our code, or the physics category to our code. So press the, scroll down all the way on the left tabs and click on More. You're going to click on the physics block and you're going to see it becomes kind of a maroon color. That means it's enabled, so we can add physics to our program. Click the X in the corner. And the first bit of code we're going to add is this onStart block. So whenever we press this play button down here in the corner, it's going to run our code. Then head to that physics drawer, which is going to be just above the More button that we pressed earlier. And we're going to add a start physics block and a set gravity to block. So our set gravity should be set gravity to 0 by 10. Add that to our block. Change the 10 to a 0. So this is going to allow us to kind of float about the screen. Alright, next head back to that events drawer and I want you to grab 4 of these win up arrow press blocks. We're going to add 4 to our code. Oops. Change 1 to down arrow. Change another to left arrow. And change the last one to right arrow. So you should have a win up arrow pressed, a win down arrow pressed, a win left arrow pressed, and a win right arrow pressed. Okay, head back to our physics drawer. And we're going to get a block that is named Apply Impulse XY. So you're going to have to scroll down a bit, or you can type the name up here, but we're looking for Apply Impulse XY. So you see there's two. There's one that says Apply Impulse 0 at 0 degrees. We want the second one, so Apply Impulse X 0, Y 0. Add one to each of our key press blocks that we added. So those arrow blocks we just made, add one to each of those. On our up arrow, X is going to remain 0, but Y we're going to change to a -10. On our down arrow, we're going to set Y to 10 and leave X at 0. On the left arrow, X is going to be a -10 and Y is going to be 0. And on our right arrow, X is going to be 10 and Y is going to be 0. So if you need to pause the video right now to copy all those values, go ahead and I will continue on with the next step. So still in the physics drawer, we're going to add a block named Set Angular Velocity to. And we might need to search. So under velocity, set linear, set angular velocity to 0. We're going to add one of these blocks to our left and our right arrows. And on the left, we're going to change 0 to -0.75. And on the right, we're going to set that 0 to 0.75. Okay, so that's it for this code. We're going to expand the screen by dragging this little, you can see this kind of side pyramid of 3 lines. I'm going to use my arrow keys here to drag the stage out to the left to make it bigger. Press the play button. And if I hit my down arrow key, my dragon starts to fall. If I hit up, they float up. If I do left or right, you can see that they kind of start traveling at an angle instead of straight up or down. So when we do up or down, it floats straight up or down. But once we start adding left and right, it kind of bounces more at an angle than it did before. So it's a very easy program. You kind of get a lot to work with. So if you want, you can change kind of the force at which your program moves. So you could change this -0.75 to a -2 and the 0.75 to 2, and you can see it will move. Your character is going to actually start moving a lot faster. And if you hold down your keys, they also move a lot faster. So right now, instead of tapping my key like this, if I hold my key down, it really floats. So go ahead and kind of play with that. Play with the values we use to see what happens when you change them. So you can get an idea of how the physics works and how gravity works within the game. This is our second of these Tinker lessons. We have 2 more. One will be on June 1st and the other will be on June 2nd. We will have live sessions for those. So if you go to our website, use codejam.org and go under the Bits and Bytes page, you can click register for the next live lessons and they will appear here. Registration is handled by our program sponsor, Palo Alto College. So underneath here, you can just click register now and register for the remaining sessions. These will be the last lessons of spring 2021, and then we will pick back up in the fall of 2021 with this program. That's all I have for you on this program today. I hope you have a nice afternoon or whenever you watch this. A nice day.